I want some energy. You already know I don't start until I get some energy. If I don't get no energy, I ain't doing it. I need some energy. I need to feel it. I need some energy. Turn me up. There we go. Okay, that's 2. All right. There we go. There we go. There we go. All right. I ain't gonna talk to y'all for too long. You know what I'm saying? I know people got lives to get back to and stuff. Who said it? Hold on. I got you. All right. And I know people got lives and stuff to get back to, but I just want to touch on a few things about life. You know what I'm saying? Some important stuff. Some important stuff. Hold on. I don't know if y'all can hear that, but let me turn that down. Anyway, I'm doing good this morning. You know what I'm saying? You know it's dark. I stay in the dark, but I was thinking yesterday because I had a feeling Reese was going to hit me up soon. So I was like, I might as well think about something. And I don't know if y'all seen the message I had put in the chat yesterday, but I said, what do y'all want y'all legacy to be? I don't even know if did anybody peep that? Did anybody peep, like, I said, what do you want your legacy to be? Because that's really an important topic right there. Everybody see it? I mean, if you didn't, you didn't. But I said, what do you want your legacy to be? Like, just sit back and think for a few seconds. Like, what do you want your legacy to be? What do you want people to know when they talk about you? What do you want people to think about? Do you want negativity? Do you want positivity? Do you want people to know that all you was about was money? Or if you gave back and really helped? That's important. I ain't gonna lie. Forget all the money. What do you want to be remembered for? Because that's really what counts in the end. You can't take money with you, but you can take being remembered to the grave forever. Money, it comes and it goes. I mean, I know everybody here to make money, but it comes and it goes. But what do you want to be remembered by? And sometimes I really do be thinking, like, what do I want to be remembered by? You don't even got to do a lot to be remembered. It's the little things that turn into big things, that turn into great things. That's the crazy part about it. You ain't even got to, you know what I'm saying? You ain't got to be a LeBron. You ain't got to be a Jay-Z. You ain't got to be a Beyonce. You just got to do something that, you know what I'm saying, that can shake the room. But just like the legacy part, who really wants to be remembered? Like, go ahead, be honest. Drop it in the chat if you really want to be remembered. Like, this is like dead serious. Like, do you really want to be remembered for something great? Like, go ahead. I see a few people. I don't think everybody want to be remembered, man. It's okay if you don't, though. I'm saying it's okay. I understand. But if you want to be remembered, what steps do you think you got to take? I don't want to be forgotten. No, I don't think nobody wants to. But you know what I'm saying? What kind of steps do you think you should be taking? Don't you think you should change up what you're doing every day? You got to change your grind every day. Can't do the same thing twice. That's how I see it. If you do the same thing twice, you want mistakes to happen. That's how I put it. You always got to be different at each and every day. And you always want to strive for higher frequencies, as I should put it. Yeah, frequencies. Strive for higher frequencies. Strive to do better than you did yesterday. If you know what I'm saying? Let me see. If you hold the door open for one person, do it for 2 or 3 more people today. If you only said good morning to one person today, say good morning to a few more. If you only talk to one person today, talk to a few more. It's about how you want to carry yourself. It's about how you conduct yourself around others. That's how people remember you. Even if you say, hey, put it like this. You have a job and you work. People already know that because I do it at my job. If you say, hi, good morning, how everybody doing, you know what I'm saying, every day. And then the one day you don't do it, I swear people going to think something wrong with you. And it could probably not be nothing wrong with you. You could just be in your own head just thinking about how you want this day to go. Because I do that even now. If I don't say nothing to people, they're like, you all right? You okay? You okay? Like, it's the little things that people remember. And you don't even realize that. People say a hate can go a long way, and it can. The hate can turn into let's get a business started. Let's find out how to make this money together. It can go from that. Like, you can build a business off of that. For real. It all starts with a hey. I ain't even gonna lie to you. You heard it this morning. For real, it can. It can go a long way. I'm telling you. Think about it. Think about people. Think about people you see every day that you know you talk to every day. Just matter of fact, just do this for a week. Do it for a whole week. People you know you talk to every day. Just say hi, how you doing, good morning, and then one day just stop out of the blue. Don't even say it. I guarantee you they're gonna think something wrong with you. But that's how, because they always remember like you was that person to say, hey, you was that person to do this, do that. They go a long way. Even it don't matter what type of job you have, but leaving a legacy. Like look at what Tory Lanez just did. That man is leaving a legacy for his son. And I read that off of your stuff, Neat. Like I seen it on Instagram. He leaving a legacy for his son. Like 5 to 10% of his royalties is going to his son for each song he makes. That's crazy. He's leaving. That's generational wealth right there. His kids will never have to want nothing. Every time he puts out a song, every time he's doing numbers, his kids eating. Like that's beautiful. Like to think like that, that's a different mindset. A lot of people don't think like that. These rappers be having kids, but you can get your kids involved without even having to do too much. You have the right lawyers in play. That's leaving a legacy. Your kids can eat off that. Your kid, you can turn that into amazing. Like they can do whatever they don't have to work. They don't have to do nothing if they don't want to. They will know that steady income is coming. But me, like, I mean, I get you leaving that money behind, but you can't just sit around all day. Now you gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta pick up a trade or something. You gotta do something. You can't just. I'm gonna have stipulations. You gotta, you know what I'm saying? You gotta at least go to school. At least go to school. You ain't even gotta work. The least you can do is go to school at least. I mean, I know school ain't for everybody, but that's the least you can do. But nah, leaving a legacy, like, it's crazy. Like, when you really get to breaking everything down about leaving a legacy, you might feel like you're behind, and you might feel like you're losing time, but you're not. Whether you whether you 17 or whether you 61, you can still leave a legacy. It's all depending on if the time is right for you, if the time aligns with itself. That's all that matters. And if you put in the work, I promise you, you might not feel like it, but if you put in the work will work for you. I'm trying to tell you. And all my athletes, you know what they say. They say hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. And that is a true statement. I'm going to tell you that right now. It don't matter if you're the last guy on the bench or if you're a starter. If that last guy on the bench is outplaying you, even though you swear you have all the talent, he's outworking you. He's out hustling you. He's grinding harder than you. He wants it more than you because you stopped wanting it because you know it came easy to you because you already started. That's like leaving a legacy. If you already, like, put it like this, if you don't know where to start and you're trying to leave a legacy, people that's already leaving legacies, it seems like they stop for a moment. Like, think about it. If you all the way up here making billions of trillions of dollars, how much of that do you think they're really gonna give to their kids? Why stop there? Why not keep running it up? Why not let their kids? Why not keep it going for 20 and 30 generations? Why stop at just one? Some people think like that. Some people don't leave their kids nothing. There's a lot of people out here that become like their parents are millions and billionaires, don't get left nothing. They don't have a legacy. They got to make their own. That's why they try to be in the spotlight. That's why they try to do this and do that to make their parents mad and all that. I don't want my kids doing none of that. I'm trying to leave a legacy, whether that's $100 or that's $100 million. They can't say they can't say I never left them nothing. Even if they got to grind hard. That even though I'm leaving $100, that $100 could turn them into $100 million if you think about it. And that $100 million could turn around right around and turn them being broke. They running through their money. Leaving a legacy. Also, you got to also teach your kids how to do it. You got to teach them how to keep the legacy going, not just, you know what I'm saying, leaving it where it is. You got to teach them how to keep the legacy going. Like, think about it. Who is it? I'm trying to think of one. Even though the Clintons is bad, they got that bag though. Even though people feel like the Clintons is bad, they have a legacy because they got money keep coming. Who's another one? The Kardashians is another one. I know people don't be rocking with them, but they kids is good, and I'm pretty sure they mama gonna teach their grandkids or they moms gonna teach their children how to keep that going. You're not gonna just want it to stop there. You want it to keep going. That's the legacy right there. They can like the Kardashians, the Jenners, whatever. They can keep the money going as long as they teach their kids how to do it right. They don't even have to be in the spotlight like that. As long as they know how to run their business, as long as they know how to you know what I'm saying, know how to do the numbers, or keep people around them that know how to do the numbers, they're good. That legacy will never die. If you build a strong legacy, if you build a strong foundation for a legacy, your roof will always be there and your foundation will always be there. It's just what you put inside of there, how much work you're going to put inside to keep it going. You're going to keep up with it, or you're going to just let it fall to the ground. That's how you got to think about it. Some people let it fall to the ground, and some people build it up higher than what it already is. Some people will buy a whole strip of land, keep building, keep building, keep building. That's how I want it to be. I want to be able to buy a strip of land, here, house here, house here, house here, house here. Y'all keep it going. You don't want to sell it. But don't just, you know what I'm saying, don't just sell it for the money. Sell it and make a profit out of it. Do something with it. Keep the legacy going, whether it's right here or it's wherever they want it to be. People don't know how to keep the legacy going. Some people don't even know how to teach their kids how to even keep the legacy going. I don't even know where to start, but I'm willing to learn. It's all about, if you're willing to learn, you're willing to put the work in it. I'm trying to tell you, people don't even think about that. That legacy go a long way, and it's been on my mind for a minute, because, like I said, I got sisters. I'm not trying to leave them without nothing. Lord forbid I die today. Like, I don't have nothing to leave them except for the money that's in my account. That's it. I'm not trying to go out like that, though. That's nothing. That's some change. They can run through that in 30 minutes. Nah. I'm trying to make sure I leave them something they can build on, something that, you know what I'm saying, can be around for the long haul. Education, too. That's another one I want to hit on. I know schooling for everybody, and I know I feel like with education you can't get nowhere, but my degree is in criminal justice, and I swear, like, when people get to talking about stuff, the little things you pick up on in college, like, it really helps. Because when you think about it, like, I don't know how many people went to college or graduated. When people talk about stuff and they hit on topics, you ever notice yourself breaking that thing? You ever notice yourself breaking it down? Like you was taught in class, and then just highlight each point, each important point. I do that in every conversation. I don't even know why. People hate it too. Like, I get on people's nerves with it, because I jump from one topic to the next. Once I'm done with a topic, I jump to the next. Like, I'm on to the next point. But education is key. I tell you that. You know, I mean, not going to school ain't bad, because school ain't for everybody. But education, it teach you a lot. It can, like, especially like the little classes that you go to, the little BS classes. Like, I took a math class. I took a math class that actually talked a little bit about this, about like Forex and stuff. That's why I'm really one of the ones that say it's not real. But education matters. It goes a long way. Staying educated. So leaving your legacy, staying educated. And the last thing is, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to hit on it again, knowing your worth. You got to know your worth. And I think about that every day. I'm not just talking to you. I really am talking to myself, because sometimes I lose track of that. You got to know your worth at any given moment. You have to know your worth. You have to let people know that you know your worth and that you will stand for nothing. And I keep trying to tell them at my job like that. Like, I know my worth there. You're not finna talk to me like anybody. You're not finna say, go do this like right now, like I'm your slave, or like I'm the butler. No, you're gonna be like, can you do this? You're going to ask me. Don't just tell me. I hate when people tell me to do stuff. Ask me. You can ask in a way of telling somebody, but still asking, because asking is more than like asking somebody, like, can you go do this, rather than go do this right now. Like that. Know your worth. Know that you don't have to take these jobs if you don't want to. I mean, you gotta know your worth for real. You gotta know that you're going to strive for better. You gotta know if you lose a job right now, you can get into another one, right? Just like that. You gotta know that the people around you gonna always keep you up, not keep you down. You gotta know that when you surround yourself with people that's gonna keep you up, you gotta make sure they keep you up and not let you fall down just a little bit. Nah, keep you going. Keep you going to the point you're so mad that they keep being on you. When you mad at somebody that always keeps getting on you, that's a good thing. That means they want it more than you want it. And if they want it more than you want it, you really don't want it like that. So they know your worth more than you know your worth. And that's bad too. You gotta want it more than they want it, even though they want it more than you want it. And I know that sounds confusing, but that's true. If you don't have people around you that don't want to keep you up, don't want to keep you going, don't want to keep you, you know what I'm saying, not from making mistakes, don't want to like make you strive for better, don't want to make you, you know what I'm saying, do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. You got to know your worth, man. You can't, you know what I'm saying, like, you got to practice what you preach. That's knowing your worth too. You can't tell somebody to do it like this, do it like that, and you not doing it like this, doing it like that. You're going to tell somebody how to get right, you got to be right. That's how I'm going to say it. That's really what I'm gonna say. If you want to teach somebody how to get right, you got to be right first. And if you ain't right, you can't teach another person to be right because you don't even know what right is. You left right now. You on the back, they in the front, they ahead of you. You're trying to teach them, but you're behind them. You can't do that. You got to be ahead of them in order to teach them to catch up with you. That way you can still keep going while you teaching them. That's how I see it. That's how you got to know your worth. You got to know that. You got to know that if you get locked up right now, a person to come behind you out still be on you for getting locked up. You got to have people around you that'll come to your rescue when you call. Like 3 a.m. If you need something, they there, they got you. But if it's something dumb, they're gonna check you like, nah, I can't do that for you. You know better than that. Stuff like that. And I got people around me that'll do that, and I'm appreciative. I appreciate that. I really do, because a lot of people can't say they do. So leaving your legacy, that's a big thing. Education and knowing your worth. Them 3 things. That's what y'all need to just work on for me, man. For the rest of the year. For the rest of the year. Not even for the rest of the week. For the rest of the year. Make that, especially leaving a legacy. Everybody in here wants to leave a legacy. I know y'all do. Everybody, that's what you got to work on. It'll come to you sooner or later, but just take your time with it. But just know, leaving your legacy. Education, I mean, you can do a lot without education, but it's a lot more you can do with education. But knowing your worth, leaving a legacy and knowing your worth go hand in hand. If you don't know your worth, how do you know how to live? Like, how do you know how much of a legacy you want to leave? You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna keep y'all too long. I am tired. You can probably hear it in my voice. I'm gonna let Reese go ahead and take it back over. That's all I want to say for today. Hope y'all stay blessed. You know what I'm saying? Stay safe, but really think about those 3 things. Really, the top 2 is leaving a legacy and knowing your worth. You know what I'm saying? But y'all be easy. I appreciate it. But I'm gonna come back with something different. You know what I'm saying? In a few days. I got y'all.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you so much. Every time you come on these calls and you talk to us, you drop the gems. You open up a different point of view, a different perspective on how we should do things or how we could do things, or the little things that we can do to change our lives, our daily perspectives, just to be a bit better like people. Just all of it. Like I'm super
That's what
grateful.
I'm here for. I told you that's what I'm here for. I might not be plugging in like that to the dedications and stuff, but I can, you know what I'm saying? I can give you a little something.
You know what you got to bring to the table, and I appreciate the fact that whatever it is that you do have, you do bring it forth, so that everybody can get a piece, get a little bit of an insight, maybe take something away that's going to help them continue to grow and elevate. So I appreciate you, and I literally I've been here. Hold up. I've been here writing on my mirrors in my bathroom because I ran out of board space. I ran out of board space. So I'm over here. Let's turn this around real quick. Like this is your note right here. Everything that you just said, this is what I took, right? And there's a couple more from like earlier this morning or whatever the case is. But I wanted to go back and touch on. I'm hearing myself. The fact that you said.
Reach, they said they can't hear you for real.
Wait, hold on 1 second. Is it any better?
I mean, you good for me. I don't know about them.
Good. Okay. Bet. All right. So one thing I wanted to touch on was the fact that you said saying hey can go a long way. Just saying hello can literally just be a spark of something beautiful, like a whole entire like business or friendship or whatever the case is. But literally just saying hey, like that can lead to so many possibilities you don't even know. And why I heard that earlier is because I was on Nano's call again this morning, and he had Sean Murphy as his guest. And that was the same thing that he opened up with, literally just being like, okay, a hello can change everything. Literally, a hello can change everything, right? So in terms of doing that, he was referring to the fact that when him and Neto had their conversations or had their interactions, that sparked a whole entire mentorship to now, the inspiration for Neno to do his morning calls. Now we're a year in and have anywhere from 1,000 to 2,000 people pop up every morning for these calls, right? A hello can change a lot. A hello can spark an entire a doorway or pathway of something, a whole new friendship. You don't even know who you're talking to at the end of the day. You don't know what type of value that person holds, right? Zay was talking about also knowing your value and knowing your worth at all times, right? So just as if like you were to say hello to somebody and you don't know their worth or you don't know their value, it could be the same thing on the other side, right? Somebody can come up to you and say hello, hey, how are you? Not knowing who you are, not knowing your value, not knowing the information that you have, that could potentially spark something or change something, or even just leave somebody with a little bit of insight, right? We always talk about becoming that person of increase, becoming somebody of value to the point where whenever you leave the situation, whenever you leave your room or the environment or the conversation that you were just sitting in, are you leaving that person with something that they can go with? Whether it's a piece of information, whether it's the way you make them feel, what are you adding to that person to help them become better, right? And honestly, it's really the smallest things. The smallest thing, just like he was saying, if you say hello to one person, say hello to 2 or 3. If you hold the door open for one person, do it for 2 to 3 more, right? Something as little as giving somebody a compliment just might make their entire day, right? Quick anecdote. When there was one time I told, who was it? I told a customer, I wasn't even serving her or anything. I just walked by and told her, I said, you look very beautiful today. And she burst out in tears. And I was like, oh no, what did I do? Triggered something. But turns out that was one of the roughest days that she's had in a really long time. And just literally that one comment of me telling her, you know, like, you look beautiful, like, I appreciate you, kind of changed her entire mood. And that was the one piece of happiness, the one piece of light. We ended up in a whole other conversation, but just saying something, doing something a little bit different, being that person where you're not just the person or the face, right? But now you're transitioning to be that servant, right? And not servant in a way where, you know, you got to bow down to what, no, you're a person of the people, right? You're a person of increase. You're there whenever somebody interacts with you, they know that they can leave with something, or they know that coming into the conversation with you, you're going to make them feel a type of way, right? So in terms of leaving your legacy and things like that, what do you guys want to do in order to help break those generational curses? What do you want to do to say, hey, when you hear that name, then you know this, this, and this. When you see this person, you know this, this, and this, right? What do you guys have planned for you to really be like, all right, cool, so I'm going to get this done. I'm going to do this, this, and that, to say, hey, whenever you hear Reese, or whenever you hear Zay, or whenever you hear whoever you are, or last names, right? Then people know what they're about. People know who they are and what they've created and what they've become and who they've helped and all of that stuff, right? Are you going to just be here for the time that you're here on this earth and not leave anything for your next generations to come? Or are you going to become that person of increase? Are you going to create a legacy for yourself? Are you going to break the generational curses where you're not only going to be able to help yourself, but understand that the things that you do now are going to determine your future, right? So not only are we here to, again, you know, make money, be successful, whatever the case is, but what is that going to lead into? What is that going to help you carry forward into the future? Like, what's going to happen for your kids? What are you going to have done for your kids' kids and your kids' kids, right? Like, what you do now could literally change everything and how you go about it. So it's not just about creating legacy or doing this and doing that, but when you start to now break it down generation by generation, whether it's your children or your siblings or anybody younger or whoever the case is, right? Once you start to bring it down generation by generation, now you're looking at, okay, what type of impact do I have that's going to allow this to continue to move forward long after I'm gone? Right? What type of impact do I have that people are going to want to continue to carry on my legacy if anything happens, right? Am I able, like he was saying, am I able to teach my kids or you know, family or whoever is growing up under me, under my influence? Am I able to teach you the things that, you know, are going to allow you to help carry the name or the legacy, or help you become a better person so that you can do the same thing for yourself? Right? These are all things that are going to come into play. And sometimes we don't think that deep. We don't think that far. We don't think about, okay, like what is the legacy that I'm trying to create, or that I'm trying to create or generate or whatever for myself and my family. Right now, a lot of the time we're just thinking about, okay, I need to get this done right here, right now. I need to get that done right here, right now. I need to get this goal, that goal. We're thinking about the right now and maybe like the 5 or the 10 years ahead. We are not thinking generations down the line, generally. Right? But That's where the shift of thinking needs to come in, where we actually do start to think a little bit deeper down the line, because now we're going to get some more depth and more insight. Now we're going to have a bigger painted picture for whatever vision that we have created, right? And then we're going to be able to start to piece it together. Start to piece it together along your way. You're going to encounter new situations. You're going to encounter new people. You're going to encounter new opportunities that are going to allow you and help you kind of make sense of what it is that you have going on, and then connect it to your future, connect it to the things that you need to get done, connect it to whatever journeys that you still have to take. Because let's be real, we are all on a different journey. It doesn't matter how young or how old, it's never too late, right? We all have a journey that we're traveling on in this life. So let's be strategic about it. The future is very, very predictable. So what is going to happen in your future? What do you paint? What kind of picture are you painting for your future? What kind of image are you speaking into or what kind of energy are you speaking into the universe for it to be created in the physical, right? We got to really sit down and like break it down to that point where it's okay. You don't need to know how it's going to be done, as long as you're putting in the work, right? Because it doesn't make sense to pray about it and ask about it and pray about it and not put the work in, right? So you definitely want to make sure, okay, cool, I have the blueprint, I have the layout, I have an idea, at least an idea of what it is that this wants to look, what it is my future wants to look like, right? And again, along the way, as you continue to work, as you continue to progress, as you continue to grow, things are going to start to make sense. Things are going to start to unfold, right? Time either promotes or exposes, right? So it's going to be up to you which one that's going to be, depending on how you take your situations, depending on how you're able to apply it, or how you react or act when something happens, right? So you need to really put yourself into that headspace where now you're thinking a little bit deeper than what's just on the surface. You're looking deeper beyond what the eye meets. You're looking deeper past your current feelings, emotions, or thoughts, or whatever the case is, your current environment, because you are destined for so much more. You are meant for so much more. You are meant to accomplish so much more, right? So start to, raise the standard and raise your level of vibration and understand that you are very valuable. You need to know your value, right? And then once you start to do that, now you're going to be able to pinpoint little things that you need to do, that you need to do to get things done. You're going to start to figure out, okay, if I really want to get here, then I have to do this. If I really want to get there, then I have to change this. You just got to embrace change. We talked about it. Embrace change. Embrace the fact that anything in this life that has been put here by creation, or that has been given life, has to change. It has to go through changes. So you have to be able to embrace that change. And, whenever you're approached with something of that sort, where you're like, oh, this requires a different side of you, or this requires a different part of you that you're not used to bringing out, don't shy away from it. Don't shy away from it, and don't pull back saying, yeah, but I'd rather just stay the way I am. No. You want to stay at the edge of your uncomfortability so that you can continue to grow, because that's where the most of your growth is going to happen. You take those risks. That's where the most of your growth is going to happen. It's better to experience it and figure out for yourself what it's like or what it's going to feel like, versus having that regret of wondering what if, right? You don't want to sit there with that regret of wondering, okay, like, what if I actually did this, or what if I actually did that? And like, what if it had played out differently? And mind you, a lot of situations are going to be like that. But for certain situations where you have a potential to become a better version of you, or you have a potential to grow into a different version, level, whatever the case is, you don't want to tiptoe with that. You don't want to play with it, because that could be that breakthrough. That could be that blessing that you may be blocking, that's going to take you to the next 5-10 levels. You don't even know. Just because, you want to stay comfortable, or just because, I don't feel like showing up, or I don't feel like talking today, or I don't feel like valuing myself the way I need to, or, playing to my value the way I should be. Don't downplay yourself. You are a king. You are a queen. You are put here for a reason. Sean Murphy said it this morning, out of half a million sperm cells or whatever, you won. You made it all the way to the egg. You won, right? You're here. And if you've made it this far, you're truly blessed. So just give thanks for the fact that we're here. Give thanks for the fact that we sit in this type of information. Give thanks for the fact that, we are surrounded by a whole bunch of people that want to see us grow and develop. We're surrounded by a bunch of people who are going to be here to help support us when things go wrong, or whatever the case is, right? And at the end of the day, yes, we are in business for ourselves, but we are not in business by ourselves, right? It's a business first, but there's also a family aspect to this, We have each other. We learn from each other. We grow with each other. Right? Make sure you're putting yourself in that environment, and we're all here. So you guys are definitely in the right environment. But a lot of times what happens is, we place ourselves in environments that hold us back. We place ourselves in environments that have a cap on how much we can do. Right? We place ourselves around people who don't think the way we think, who don't see the way we see things, or who do not have that vision the way that you have it. And then you start to realize, especially when you're starting to grow and develop and evolve, you start to realize that these are not the people that I'm meant to be around. These are not the people that are meant to be with me all the way going up. These are not the people that, and there's no hate. It's all love. It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is, right? Not everybody's going to have that mindset. Not everybody's going to be willing to change. Nobody likes change. If you do like change, then you're definitely somebody who's used to growing, or whatever the case is, right? A lot of the time, I said it the other day on my call with what Helen Keller said, if you want enemies, make change, something like that, right? If you want to create enemies, then change something. Because once you start to tell people you're changing this and you're changing that, they're going to look at you sideways. They're going to look at you like, what? Who? Why? No, but I just want to be the same. I just want to stay where I'm at. I don't want to continue to learn. I'm done with school. I'm done with education. I'm done trying to evolve and grow. And I just want to live. I just want to be adulting. What? I'm sorry. Got me confused. But, once you're somebody who can embrace it and you don't shy away from it, and you don't really tiptoe around it, that's when you're going to see the most of your success. And just like what Zay said, I'm not just talking to you guys, I'm talking to myself as well, right? It's a reflection thing, and it's an honest, it's a truthful thing that you have to have with yourself, that internal to external conversation. It's not that you don't know what to do. It's not that you don't have the gems. It's not that you don't have the information. It's just, okay, are you really putting it to action? Are you really applying the information? Are you really making it work for yourself? Right? And once the application is not being or the application process isn't being done properly, or however you want to phrase it, that's when you're going to start to see that stagnation. That's when you're going to start to see, things not go the way you want it to go. That's when you're going to start to see, all your dreams and your goals are still just as far away as they were a year or two ago. You feel like you're moving forward, but then when you look, you're still so far away. Okay, cool. So what's happening? So what's not allowing you to grow? What's holding you back, right? What is your attitude towards the situation? What is your attitude towards your growth? What is your attitude when it comes to different situations that arise, right? Are you somebody who starts to get upset and get down and just start to give up on everything, or you have some sort of like, oh, I can't do this anymore, this is tough, or whatever. It happens. We're human. We feel. We have emotions. It's natural. But how you respond to your attitude, how you respond to your actions, to your reaction, is really what's going to determine what's going to change that, right? So if you're responding to certain attitudes, like when you have those dominating negative thoughts, when you start to respond to them in a positive light, you're now reconditioning. Now you're unlearning to relearn, right? You're getting rid of old habits, old paradigms, so that you can create new ones, or you can learn new ways of thinking, right? That does not happen overnight, right? A lot of the times, remember, our paradigm is a set of habitual behaviors that have been instilled in us in the first 5 to 7 years of living. Those are not easy things to get undone, right? But there are, and they don't all have to be bad. Don't get it twisted. You can have paradigms that are actually very good for you, that help you grow, that help you move, right? It's just a matter of slowly undoing the ones that, no longer benefit you, no longer help you grow any further, or whatever the case is, or the ones that are maybe a distraction or that hold you back from all that growth. But that comes with you being honest and truthful with yourself, having that internal to external conversation. Like I said, it's not that you don't know the information, but are we actually applying it? Are we actually doing it? Are we actually, putting that effort in and putting our best foot forward to make sense of it? And then are we continuously doing it over and over and over again so that we can understand it, have a better grasp of it, right? Be more confident in it, so that we can truly go out and be who we need to be so that we can help people be who they need to be. Because just like Zay said, you basically can't check somebody when you haven't even checked yourself. You can't go and tell somebody how to live their life when you don't even know how to live yours. You can't go and tell somebody how to structure up this and structure up that if you haven't done it for yourself. Lead by example, right? Speak from experience. Speak from a place of practice, right? So it's just a matter of not just talking the talk, but walking the walk. Are you really walking that walk? Are you really walking the talk that you say you have, right? And sometimes we don't. It's okay. Sometimes we gotta, I don't like to say fake it anymore. It's more so faith it till you make it. I'm gonna faith this until I make it because I know I'm getting there. This is just the past. This is just history. This is history in the making. This is all just the time between, where we are now and where we're meant to be. So I'm gonna be calm. I'm gonna be cool, and just day by day, I'm gonna continue to work. I know a lot of the times it sounds very repetitive, but that's all it is. That's literally all it is. You just gotta work. You just gotta show up. You just gotta 1% today, 1% tomorrow. Get up and start your day an hour earlier, or maybe get an exercise in today, or maybe hop on one more video today, or one more go live today, or maybe enter into some of the trades that are being sent out today. 1% better every single day, and then you just got to work on being consistent. You got to work on continuing to show up, right? You gotta work on being the best you. Like, that's all it is every single day, because once you reach that best version of you, after you've figured out all the nitty gritty in between, everything that you want is going to come to you. Everything that you want is going to come to pass, right? And sometimes we may look at situations as if like, why me? Why is it happening this way? I feel like, this is one of the worst times of my life, going through a whole bunch of adversity, and I don't know what to do. I don't know where to turn. Understand that, the highest power of the universe is not going to take anything away from you that was already meant for you without giving you more, right? Sometimes you may be put in situations where it's like, okay, you fit the qualifications, but the point is the place where you've been put in is not big enough for you. It limits your growth. It limits, the things that you can do. So that's when it's not for you. All right, cool. I fit the qualifications, but this is not the space that I'm supposed to be in so that I can truly excel to be who I want to be, right? Once you find that space where you're able to grow to, indefinite heights, literally, that's the space that they're pouring into you, and the information that you're getting is actually feeding you and helping you grow, and you're building that confidence. You're paying attention to your value. You're getting uncomfortable and showing up. You're doing things that you weren't doing before. You're making that conscious effort to change your paradigm, or you're change your habits, or whatever the case is. You're making the conscious effort to be better in a space that's going to allow you to grow to as big as you want to be, as far as you want to go. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. It's all about perspective. I've been hearing that word so much, so much the past week and a half to 2 weeks. It's all perspective. It's all about how you see yourself. It's all about how you see the situation that you're in. It's all about what you can get done. It's all about, who's talking to you. It's all about understanding their point of view and why they say the things that they say, or why they do the things that they do. Perspective is going to change the way you view a lot of things. Perspective is going to change the way you hear and you see and you react to a lot of things, right? So I don't know. I went on a whole tangent just now. How y'all feeling? Talk to me in the chat. Let me know how y'all are feeling. All right. There's a couple more things. Taking it in. Put your hands. Only 2 of y'all. Talk to me, guys. Come on, don't do me like that. Talk to me. How you guys feeling so far? How y'all feeling? I'm gonna keep it short. Give me like a 1-2 more things. Another thing is, here with you. Another thing I noticed that Sean Murphy had said on this call this morning was, when you make Nah, you did bless, Zay. Come on now. Don't downplay it. Don't downplay it. You add value every single time you hop onto these calls. You're better than that. Come on now. You're good. But it's always room for improvement, but nah, you kill it. Don't worry about it. Another thing Sean Murphy said on his call this morning was when you make yourself visible, right? When you make yourself visible, they'll find you. What does this mean? When you make yourself large, when you show that you're here for a reason, when you start to show up in different ways that kind of have you stand out, people are going to show up, and the right people are going to show up. The right people are going to come and bring their blessings to add to you. The right people who know know their value and know what they have are going to come to you so that they can continue to help you grow. Whether it's just one gem, it could literally be just one conversation. But once you expose yourself, once you start to say, hey, this is me. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is the value that I have. I know my worth. And I'm really just putting out what I can put out to do my part. I'm doing what I can do, right? The right people are going to come to you. You are going to attract the right people. They always say the mentee doesn't seek the mentor finds the mentee. So that's basically what he goes back to when it says when you make yourself visible, they will find you, right? Sometimes it could literally just be somebody random, somebody completely random, right? Quick anecdote. I was going somewhere one day and I was late because I ended up running into one of my mom's customers. She was serving and she was like, hey, I want you to come meet these people. Mind you, if I had gone early, I would have never had that opportunity. But I went late because I feel like I knew I had to have that conversation, or I feel like something was telling me, don't go now, just go later. I started to realize my instincts and my gut intuition has been, very key. I'm starting to listen to more about how I'm feeling, my spirit and things like that. Anyways, I got into the conversation with these people, about 20 minutes, half an hour conversation. Mind you, they're in the middle of eating their food, and I'm on the way out, but it got to that point where that was the only time I ran into them, and just their energy and their light was something that helped spark, it was literally just before we had a momentum push a couple months back, like somewhere in February, right? It was something that kind of showed me a different perspective on, I'm here doing the right thing for the right reasons. Something where I realize the type of value that I have, and I can be that vessel for other people who don't see it in themselves, or who just don't understand, or whatever the case is. Made sense of a lot of things that I've done in my past to what I'm doing now that correlates. It kind of just, everything clicked to the point where he talked me he talked the emotions out of me. He literally talked the emotions out of me, standing right there, boom, bawling, like, okay, this is good. Now this is embarrassing. Oh, he's like, nah, I need that passion, because that shows how genuine you are. That shows, what you're really here for. And the reason why I went into that is because literally that one conversation, I feel like for some reason they were like my guardian angels in like the network marketing industry for something, because the perspectives that I've got and the information that I got, it was like, whoa, like I really needed to hear this right here, right now. A hello can do a lot, right? Speaking to people and having a conversation can do a lot. On top of that, I've gained a contact that I can now go to for when I have questions. I've gained a contact where it's another resource for me to kind of, if I have anything, questions, or I need advice, or whatever the case is, right? You never want to pass judgment. You don't know what's deeper than what meets the eye. Look for depth. Look for what's underneath all of this shelter and all of this, the shell and the clothing and the whatever. Look deeper than that, because there could be so many things that we may be blocking ourselves from just because of our ignorance, just because of the fact that we don't want to speak up, or we don't want to show ourselves, or we want to be shy about it, whatever the case is. No, walk in your purpose and do what you've been set out here to do. And if you don't know what that is, figure it out. It doesn't happen overnight sometimes. You really just got to figure it out. And that's okay. That's okay. Not everybody knows what their purpose is when, as soon. Like, it's one of those where it kind of just hits you and it's like, oh, wow, like I'm meant to do this. I'm meant to be here. This seems to always be my overall goal, or whatever the case is. I'm not going to give this up now. I can't stop now. I have too much just happiness and just doing it. Like I don't even care about being paid for certain things. Like I just want to do it. Like that's the real fulfilling purpose, where you can run on auto ship when it comes to this stuff, right? But that's all really, guys. Honestly, just be the best version of you. Know your value and know your worth at any given moment. Don't take no crap. Don't take no crap from nobody, because you are better than that. You are meant more. You are meant for more. You are destined for more, right? Things are going to happen. Adversity is going to hit you. It is what it is. That doesn't mean that should stop you, or that doesn't mean that that should be a roadblock on your journey to success, right? Or whatever the case is. Don't ever let it stop you. Don't ever let it hold you back, right? The only thing that's stopping you from getting to where you want to go is you and God. And he's got a rep to keep up, so he's not going to do it intentionally. So that leaves you. So if you're going to let outside factors come in and block you of your blessings and get in your ear and change your perspective on how you see things, instead of you actually thinking and feeling and analyzing things for yourself, you might end up hurting yourself and blocking a lot of things that might actually carry you to the next couple levels. So just be more aware. Just be more aware of your surroundings. Be aware of who you are and get to know you. Get to know who you are. Get to know all your kinks. Get to know all your gems. Get to know all the minor details that make you you. Get to know all the things that, and it's not that you don't know. It's just pay attention to it. Face the facts. Put the cards on the table. Lay it all out, right? Because we all some bomb-ass people. Each and every one of you. And I know there's a lot of you that still you guys are only scratching the surface of who you are. Some of you are still trying to figure it out, only scratching the surface of who you truly are. Some of you are only giving us the surface of who you truly are, right? But walk high in your purpose, my kings and queens. Hold your head up, vibrate at a higher frequency, and understand that more, always bigger, always better, right? It's 11:54. We got our 12 o'clock. Let's definitely get on that, get our education in. And that's all. Let me know how y'all feeling. Let me know if you guys got some value from both Isaiah and I today. I really appreciate each and every one of you for showing up, not even just today, but every day you guys show up. And it's not even just to say show up for us. Nah, you're showing up for yourself. Thank you guys for showing up, because if you didn't show up, you wouldn't get this information today. If you didn't show up, you wouldn't have been able to hear this gem today. If you didn't show up, maybe something from your call, and I hope that somebody, any one of you, I hope that some of this information clicked. I hope that some of this information actually made you feel a type of way, or think differently, or, help you change so that you can continue to grow and be better. So I ain't gonna waste your time no more. Y'all have an amazing, safe, and blessed day. Vibrate high. Hold your heads up high, my kings and queens. I love y'all so much. Later.